Hi everyone, I hope you're excited for this video. You've seen the thumbnail and the title, so you know what we're doing. I want to put a disclaimer. This video will be the first one, so the original suit, and the second one will be of the recolor. Rather than putting them into one whole long video, which is an hour, wow, they will be split into two, so 30 minutes, hopefully 30 minutes for the other one. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's start things off with Momo's costume. I love it. It's a yes for me. The brown color palette works really well with Momo's eye color. I think it's brown/gray that I'm getting. The diamonds in the design. One side has a diamond, one side has a 12. The frills at the bottom, the bow at the back, and the bow at the front. Momo is giving Prince vibes, and I love it. Another thing I do want to add is my appreciation for the texture. So on the hood, it looks very shiny. It does reflect very well. On the holographic 12s, it looks amazing. I think they've done a great job adding more than just designing, but also thinking about how the light is reflecting onto it. And I love that there is confetti on the top of the hood. It's just so cute and playful. Now is the moment you've all been waiting for, the suit. I'm very grateful for all the details that has been put onto it. There are some things that I don't like and some things that I really do love. Just by looking at this suit, it does read as 5-star. Would I have wanted more at the top? No, I think the bear does really space it out, that there is just so much going on, but it's not too compact. The middle, she looks like a rapper. Like, it really does remind me of Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate. And the bottom just continuing down. Wow, they did not stop. The tinsel, it really does look like tinsel for me, so I'm gonna say that, but it could be PU iridescent leather. And finally, the bottom, I love it because the shoes would have felt lacking if there wasn't much going on, but the hair length, the 12s, it makes it feel more that I'm not bored. But as a whole, I do think they've done a great job, so thanks. Moving on to specific individual pieces, let's go on to the hair. Initially, I wasn't really into the white hair color because it just felt weird. I understand that the game is fantasy. This isn't supposed to be something that you can see in real life, so white hair color is understandable. You're supposed to just put reality, drift it away, and immerse yourself into the game. And I love that idea. But at the same time, when there is like skin tones that is realistic or trying to be realistic, so the fans and the audience could immerse themselves as if they're the ones who are in this fantasy game, it becomes harder with natural hair colors and non-natural hair colors. And then this one, in this case, is non-natural hair color. So it's trying to fight between being fantasy, but at the same time also looking right. I am hoping that darker hair colors could be more obtainable, not the last evolution, because for this one it was blue, which is a darker hair color, and I believe it would work better. But white is the first one, and not everyone can style it, so they would have to try and go for the blue one. Not everyone is going to. So that's just me, that's my opinion. But I do feel like the more natural or the more easier hair colors that can be styled is the ones that are harder to get when it comes to 5-star. But now moving on to the dress. I love it. She looks like a Ferrero Rocher. And yeah, there's just so much going on, but it doesn't lose the heart of it. Like the 12s, the different wrapping, the different seams, the different technique, finishes, and it all shimmers. I love glitter, so a yes for me. And how long that bow is to reach the bottom, it just makes it even more magical. They've done a great job, and the color palette for it really works well. Like, it feels so universal regardless any skin tone. I love the checkered diamond design on the bow and the printed stars on the right side of the skirt. The back actually does remind me of a corset, of the way the strip is holding the dress together. It reminds me of like how you would pull a corset to tighten. Also, just like a sweet, you would wrap it up. I don't know if that's their intention, but I can see that, and it's beautiful. The only thing I don't like is the strap that's holding the dress together from the left side, because it really does remind me of can lid, even though I look at it closer and I see the shape and I see the vision, but I just can't unsee it. And it does also read as uncomfortable for me, thinking about how bulky this dress is, and then considering that certain strap is supposed to hold up everything, but also thinking about, you know, the corset back, how it's wrapped and how it's supposed to fit her, still reads as uncomfortable for me. I love the sleeve. I love how it goes around her arms. It looks like a ball gown, but it doesn't have to be such a ball gown like that. And I thought that was creative too. Moving on to the tights. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the two different shades of red, in my opinion, because it confuses me, that's all. It kind of hurts my eyes. As an individual piece that I'm trying to style with other pieces in the game, it will feel hard because it's just something that's not universal or versatile. But the detail onto it is beautiful, especially the gold shimmers. The fact that they chose gold really does make it stand out and pop. The bow at the end, it doesn't. It washes out when you think of the red with it. Other than that, I think the tights is really lacking for me anyway. But as an overall with the whole suit, I think it's beautiful because it's not too distracting, because everything else is just as distracting as it. So it's not fighting for itself. Everything is just better. For the shoes, I love it. No questions asked. 10 out of 10. Do I think they could have improved something? Personally, I don't think so. I can't really imagine anything. Only if I wanted them to change the shape. But I think this shape really works well for it. Considering it's a gliding suit, maybe because the idea of gliding is supposed to be practical. So you're going out doing this. And the whole suit isn't practical. It's more extravaganza. So that I would have wanted more practical shoes. Then I would have wanted more practical pieces from this suit. And I love this suit. So no. I love the extravaganza element to the shoes, especially how much jewels they put onto it. They don't have to, but they did. The bow, the checkered design on the back, it really does feel complete when you pair it with the dress. The tinsel at the front, it feels like a present. The bow, the gold shimmers at the front, the sheer material of gold shaped as a bow, pairing with the checkered design, works wonders. So moving on to accessories, this one will be the hair accessory. I think this one is lacking. I know, I don't want to say that, but it just seems really small that when you think about it from the suit perspective, it's just not as great because I'm not really able to see it as much. That doesn't really help me when I'm trying to pull for all these pieces, that I want to notice all the pieces when I'm looking at it as a whole. If I'm looking at it from the back, yes, it's cute, it's small. Did I say it's small? It's great, but I would have expected something bigger. I don't want to say it has to be something too big because then it will be too distracting. Thinking about how this accessory changes when you pair it with different hairstyles, I love that. I love that it's very versatile with other hairstyles. You don't have to feel limited, the white hairstyle. So I love that, but I would have preferred something bigger. So moving on to the headwear, I think it's very cute, playful, and that's what I get from it. And also considering the whole suit, I think that's what it's trying to be, playful, because you're literally flying with balloons in your hands. And I think they did a great job. Looking at the frills, the holographic surface, wow, it shimmers, tinsel, yes, the tinsel, holographic, the bow, it really does feel like a present. The overall shape feels as though it's trying to be a hat, but at the same time, because of everything and how it's arranged, it feels like a present, and they done an amazing job with the execution for that. For me, I'm 50-50 with the earrings because as a fashion designer, I love the shape. But as a player from the game, I'm not really into it as much just because the original hairstyle doesn't work well with it. It feels as though it's hiding the earrings and you have to position your Nikki sideways when you're taking a photo to get even a look at it. Feels like that's a shame just because of the way they design the hair. Now they have to think about the way they design the earrings, but they don't take much into consideration for the earrings for that. So yeah, that's me. I think it could have been better, especially thinking about the shape for it. Feels as though you have to rely on shorter hairstyles to notice the earrings. For the choker, I love it. I love the jewel. I love the shape. I love the iridescent tinsel. And yeah, it feels as though you can notice it even if you're far away and also up close. So I love the colors. It's bright, it's eye-catching, and it really works well with the whole suit and also versatile. So thank you. Moving on to the glove, one of my favorite pieces because it just feels so fancy. I love it. I love the big frills, the triangle design that has been cut out on both sleeves. I'm not sure because I understand how it relates to the suit, but I'm not sure if it's as great when you think about it as a standalone. The printed on design, I'm not sure if it's printed on or if it's appliqued, but the design, wow, so detailed. The lace on top, you can see that it's a different material, a different fabric, sorry. At the bottom section of the gloves, it has a heart-shaped motif and I love it. I'm not sure what the specific design is supposed to be or how it's relating to the suit, but I did realize that I believe the brown element is printed on lines, that it creates the illusion that it's been pleated way more than what it was. And I think that's really cool and smart. I love how much just the sleeves have got and all the detail and attention that has been given. And finally, the final accessory, the bear. I think is so adorable. Also, having balloons is so cute. The bow, the hat, wow. And I think they've done a great job with the texture on the bear. They don't have to, but it really does look cuddly. Like if someone wants to make me a bear, add those balloons. We can do it, guys. Yeah, it's just so cute. And it really does work well on the suit and off the suit because you know I'm styling it. So many other outfits. Moving on to the makeup, I think the base makeup is beautiful. Love the stars, love the bow. They don't have to, but they did. And I think the color palette really works well for all skin tones. Yes, I think there is a lot of blush, but that's beautiful. Going on to the eyebrows, it's kind of hard to see without a certain type of hairstyle, but it's nice. I think it's very simple. The eyelashes, just as much as the eyebrows, I think it worked. I don't know. It's long, I guess. Tell me your thoughts in the comments about it specifically, since I'm not sure. The eyes, yes, I love it. It looks beautiful. The colors look beautiful. She looks magical. The green, the brown, the grey, somewhat yellow, they all work so well. And finally, the lipstick. So for me personally, I thought it was very bright and I wasn't sure if I really liked it. So individually, I think it's not really workable for me. In my opinion, I don't think I would really want to use it as much. But thinking about it as a whole, with the whole suit, I think it really works well. Now, looking at the makeup as a whole, I think it works really well. I see why the lipstick is so bright because the makeup is very subtle, but with the eye specific section, it's quite vibrant. Looking at it with the moonlit snow skin tone, it's beautiful. She looks dreamy. She looks dreamy. But this is my opinion, everyone. Please be aware of that. For the Twilight Reflection skin tone, the eyeshadow looks amazing, really complementing the subtle blush. And for the Passionate Banquet skin tone, I think it works really well. I think they've done a great job. And I think the blush isn't too overpowering that it looks off. I think it's just right that it's subtle, it looks natural. My only complaint, I would say, is the lipstick. If it was styled by itself, I think it's too bright. But with this overall makeup, it works really well. But now looking at the suit as a whole with the different skin tones, Nikki looks beautiful here, works well, looks divine. The brown, the red, the white hair color. I think the white hair color looks really well here because you can think of it as just fantasy and it doesn't seem too weird. It seems okay. The hair accessory, I'm very sad because it's pushed to the back and you kind of can't see it with the headwear accessory. The moonlit snow skin tone, she looks beautiful, divine, goddess you could say. Hair, beautiful. Dress, amazing. Tights, not too much, but spectacular. The only thing I would say is maybe because of the different fabrics used for the sleeve, the lace, it kind of feels like you can't really notice it. Not saying it's a bad thing, I just realized it. But the makeup looks beautiful. And the Passionate Banquet, I think she looks beautiful, divine, spectacular, a goddess as she is. I think the brown color palette of the dress works really well because it doesn't feel like it's too light, so it feels weird. It feels like you're able to notice it rather than being washed out. The hair color, on the other hand, I think it's up to the audience, it's up to the player, but I think it does feel like you could question whether it's fine or not, because for me, it's okay. But at the same time, sometimes it does make me pause and just think, I wish if it was a more natural color that I could see being okay. But other than that, beautiful. The lace, beautiful. And the twilight reflections, beautiful. Spectacular. Finally, my last thing about the hair is I don't understand why at the bottom there is shimmers of blue. It feels like there is a contrast from the white hair color to the blue or the yellow one. So the first evolution would be yellow to blue, and then the pink one, pink to blue, and then the last one is blue. I don't really understand why there is a need for blue. So as you know, this suit or the dress is supposed to give you sparkles in the open world. So I want to just show what it would be like. In my personal opinion, I don't see much sparkles, but maybe it is because it's in daylight. You can see it when she's standing still, but I thought it was supposed to be when you're also walking. Slow walking, I guess, but it's just not as much. But in the dark, you can see it. Still little, but you can still see it. But wanted to give a closer look too. Yeah, you can see it so much more when you get a closer look. But when you're just playing, you won't really see it. So I think that was a bummer for me anyway. But when you see it like this, wow, it's beautiful. She's sparkling. So when Nikki is using her special ability, at the night, this is what it would look like. The balloons, fabulous, they're sparkling, beautiful, glowing, you could say. I noticed that the dress is glowing. I think that's amazing. I didn't realize it. I didn't know that she was able to. I'm not saying no to it. The tinsel around her arm, in my opinion, I like it, but at the same time, when she's holding up with one arm the balloons, it kind of looks uncomfortable. It feels too unnatural of the shape. Like it could only be made by adding boning to it. The lace looking amazing, the stars shining, the corset shape, I love that. The whole outfit shining, I didn't know I needed it until now, so thank you. The different layers, I love that. Each layer, there is just so much going on. The strip on top of the pleat frills, the lace being layered on top. Wow. And the gold strips, the tinsel shining. Looking at it as a whole, in the dark night, the hair works really well because from white to light blue, it feels amazing. Personally, I would have loved if the shoes at least had maybe some shine, because when considering how bright the top section is and then looking at the bottom with the shoes, it just doesn't have that elevation. It feels like that's lacking. When you look at it at daylight, it looks amazing because you can see it. But at night, everything else is shining. And then when you get to the bottom half, it's not. And I would have wanted it to. But honestly, it feels like Nikki is glowing in the night. But looking at the daylight version, she's still glowing. She looks beautiful, magical. The balloons are still shining. Wow. And I like the different shapes that's created. So as you saw, there was a star, different colors, purple, blue and yellow, I believe. The makeup works so well. The bear, adorable. Personally, I feel like this suit works better in daylight because it really plays on the whole brown, white. She looks like a Ferrero Rocher for me. The dress really does. How simple yet so detailed it is. The jewels, the bow. Wow. There's just so much that I would love to go into detail about it, but I don't want to bore everyone. But yes, I do believe the dress has triangular shapes shining when it's the star shape on top. And I think that's really cool because we clearly see how much diamonds is incorporated onto this dress. So having that makes it feel so much more unique. And compared to the night version where you couldn't really see the shoes, in the daytime, you can see the shoes, so it doesn't feel as bad. I just wish that the shoes or that section, the bottom section, was able to get a shining moment because it feels like everything is going up there, but not as much as down here. In the night, you won't be able to notice it, but in the daytime, it's not as bad. But maybe that would have been too chaotic considering what's going on down here, since there are strips, beautiful strips, and the hair, how long the hair is. So we don't really want it to be too chaotic that it feels like a mess. Would I say there are things that I wish I would have changed in this suit? Yes. But for what we got, I'm just so happy that it's as beautiful as this. So thank you, Infold, and thank you, Infinity Nikki. So I hope you enjoy, and bye. I'll see you in my next video.